BIMrx for Fabrication is Microdesk's purpose-built set of modeling efficiency tools designed to automate tasks that detailers and fabricators and coordinators spend hours on every week. And what we're doing is recreating the workflow of the AutoCAD power user. Somebody who types on their keyboard, they reuse a lot of work that's already on the screen, and they don't spend time cutting sections and adjusting visibility graphic overrides. So in this case, I might need to draw some sloped piping. I like to demonstrate on sloped piping because that's always been traditionally what Microdesk's modelers and what a lot of clients tell us they struggle with inside of the software. And all of the tools I'm going to show, they work with piping, they work with duct, they work with electrical conduit. I like to demonstrate on sloped piping, like I said, because this is the real challenge to prove. But we can do this, and I think of the AutoCAD power user again. What are they doing? They're copying and pasting work that's already been placed in the model. And here maybe I've got some pipe that's coming off of a nearby floor drain. I'm just going to take that and copy and paste it. BIMrx has a command now called Move, Connect, and Align that I've assigned to a keyboard shortcut, which allows me to click on the floor drain and click on the pipe. It rotates the second object that I clicked on, and it attaches it. So I just saved 6 or 7 button clicks placing a vertical pipe on a floor drain RFA family. We may need to come in and place a P-trap, so we've got a tool for doing that on the tool palette. And I'm going to place the P-trap. Revit gives me a widget for rotating the trap, but the widget takes several button clicks, and it requires me to click on the screen. BIMrx has a command called Rotate Fitting, which allows me to click on the P-trap, and I can pick an angle to rotate. In this case, we rotated 90 degrees, so that was very straightforward. Then we can come in, and again, I'd like to draw some sloped pipe coming off of the P-trap. BIMrx has a command called Bloom, which allows me to click on a fabrication part that has open connections, and it'll extend duct and pipe out of all of the open connections. If the connection had a slope associated to it, it would come in sloped. Otherwise, I could come in and type the slope. And that's essentially a Revit feature. I find that takes several button clicks, so maybe we can try to do this a little bit faster. Instead of extending pipe out, what if we were to again follow the workflow where I simply copied and pasted an existing pipe? And then I were to use the Move and Connect command, another BIMrx command, which attaches the second object to the first object I click on, but without affecting the slope. If I touch the connector, that places in the fabrication part. Now the final piece is I need to align these two pipes together. And in a traditional workflow, I'd have to go back to a floor plan, cut a section, open up my section view, stretch the extents, adjust the visibility graphic overrides, and when we watch our modelers do that type of work, every time they make a connection, we estimate it takes them 6 to 10 minutes to go through all of those steps simply to connect a branch line to a main. But BIMrx, we've created a tool called Align Branch, which allows me to stay in the 3D view, and I can click on the main that's in the right location, and I can click on the branch that I want to attach to it. Then I can use Revit's Extend command to cut those in. And when we use the command doesn't break the slope in any of these cases. However, you'll remember earlier on when I was fooling around with the pipe attached to the P-trap, I accidentally broke a connection here. So what I can do is I can use BIMrx's Move and Connect command to attach the two. In this case, the P-trap moved, so I'm just going to set it back to 0. And again, I'm going to touch the connector to automatically insert the coupling. In this case, it's a Husky O-clamp for my no-hub fitting. And now it's possible that we might say, well, maybe there's a different configuration that we needed. Maybe we needed to come in with a Y, or maybe we needed to bring this up because a 2-foot drop in this case is going to result in siphoning if I were to draw it that way. So why don't I just take the T out? And in fact, I'm going to delete this because I'd like to heal this broken connection. We can use the Move and Connect command again to click on the combination Y and click on the pipe, and that's going to stretch it out. Just as the align and extend commands didn't break the slope, the move connect command didn't either. So now I can take the pipe that's on a slope, and I'm going to bring this up a little bit. Maybe we're going to come down to -2 feet. And now BIMrx has commands for drawing pipe in different directions. So if I wanted to put a bend and a drop in here, in a fabrication workflow I'd have to find the ITM part button, place the elbow, rotate it 45, 90 degrees, and then attach a pipe to the bottom of it. To speed things up, Fabrication has an elbow down command, which allows me to click on the open end of a pipe, and it just draws a pipe drop down right at the end. That allows me to use Revit's out-of-the-box trim command to attach the two. Now that align branch command that I showed earlier to align the horizontal branch line to the main also works in any direction. So I can use that to align a vertical drop, and once again the slope is preserved. Now I can use my extend command on the main and the branch, and as long as there's enough space for my fittings, it's automatically going to place that combination Y. And now, for us, we've saved 6 or 10 minutes simply making the connection to the main, and we could try out different configurations very quickly. But for us, the real power comes from our ability now to take the work we've done, bundle it together in an assembly, and reuse it multiple times. In other words, in probably the 12, 13 years that we've been implementing Revit for design engineers, the questions we always got from the beginning was, can I build an assembly of parts and reuse it so that I'm not constantly modeling the same floor drain configuration, I'm not constantly modeling the same restroom? Well, we can do that now because we have tools that allow us to align and connect. It was always difficult before because those connections required so much work. That 6 to 10 minutes effort to make those connections happen was really a wash if you could just model things from scratch. So we don't have to model things from scratch anymore. We can come in and we can put a configuration in, or an assembly rather. I can take the floor drain and all of the pipe. And on the ribbon bar I can use Revit's assembly command to create an assembly for floor drain A. That's going to live in the project browser, and I can reuse that now as many times as I want. And I'm going to drop a couple in. I'm going to disassemble them. I can rotate. I can use BIMrx's align command to align, and Revit's extend command to connect those in. So once again, I can tab, rotate, BIMrx align, and extend. Okay. We have other commands as well. So here I've got a combination Y with no pipe drawn and a clean out that I need to connect to. BIMrx has a command called bloom, which allows me to click on the open end of a connection, and it's going to extend duct and pipe out of every open connection. It looks like previously we didn't get our hubs, so I'm just going to click on those to update. And when we bloom out of that fitting, if the fitting has a slope already associated to it, the pipe's going to come out the other end with a slope. Then I can use BIMrx's elbow up command to put a vertical pipe. I'm going to use the trim command to connect the two. And now, to attach it to the floor clean out, I can use BIMrx's move connect command to attach the vertical pipe to the clean out. The vertical pipe stretches. It doesn't add an unnecessary slope, but the horizontal stretched, preserving the slope. So again, this is why I enjoy demonstrating on sloped pipe, is because a lot of our development effort was put in to ensure that nothing we're doing is going to do anything destructive to the slopes that you spent a long time creating. Now, of course, the question always comes in then, well, you know, modeling pipe with a slope is one thing, but what happens when we get an update from an architect or from a designer and we have to remodel the pipe, or we have to adjust pipe that we've already modeled? You know, oftentimes, if the pipe is sloped, it's easier to draw the pipe from scratch than to make the changes necessary. Well, BIMrx can help because we have tools that are going to allow us to break connections, So we've got a disconnect command on BIMrx MEP that allows me to come in and click on two fittings, and it breaks the connection. In this case, breaking the connection removed the O-clamp. But now I've compartmentalized my system. I've broken it up into smaller chunks, and I can come down rather upstream and just verify that all the slopes are true. Then I can adjust my elevation. Maybe I want to come down to, I think technically I'm on my SC4. I'm going to bring this down to minus 3 foot 2. We're going to come down just a slight bit. And to Revit's credit, Revit itself does a very nice job in recent releases preserving slope when I move pipe. But BIMrx allowed me to compartmentalize it, verify that everything preserved its slope after the change, even though it was a very subtle change. And now I can use a command on BIMrx Fabrication called Align in 3D. And what I do is I click on the pipe with an open connection that's in the right place, and I click on the fabrication part that I want to align to it in 3D. And just like that, it makes the alignment. Then I can take my pipe and I can snap it, and it puts in the O-clamp very easily. Now I verify that the slope on the other end hasn't been broken at all. And of course, inside of my, I'm in an assembly right now, so I might come in and disassemble. But even in that assembly, the Align in 3D command on BIMrx was able to move that entire system down without breaking any of the slopes.